Entrepreneurs, entrepreneurs.
We want to welcome you guys to the ELP group. We
Yeah,
are a phenomenal group of people. We're passionate about just
entrepreneur,
getting people to push to their limits, make no
entrepreneurs.
excuses. And so we want to introduce ourselves. So I'm Roger Causey. Want to welcome you guys on the ELP. This is a place where we strategize, implement, and encourage everybody to push themselves to their limit. Um, Today, with the climax of what we're dealing with in society from the pandemic and everything else, I believe that it has allowed for us, many of us who have not decided to move into business or had cold feet, to move out there. And so this group here is designed to get you, to encourage you more. And what I mean by the encouragement is more so on the discipline side of not making excuses. You have your motivational videos, you have your Les Browns, your Tony Robbins, you have your, your all of the people that are out there that um, can give you all the motivation you need. But the thing about this group is that we want to encourage you to get past the bullshit. And I'm going to put it that way. We're going to keep it real because ultimately, when it comes to starting a business, moving a business, we live in a society where everything is considered or seeming to be easy, fast food. And the rewards in the end, yeah, microwave, exactly. And the results are not really good or beneficial in the end for your life. And so we want to get you beyond that video, beyond that, because a lot of you are stuck watching YouTube videos and you're not doing a damn thing. Now, I know that may be hard to
That's
hear, but
right.
it's the truth. Am I telling the truth, y'all?
You telling the truth. Tell them now. They need to hear it.
And so with this group, myself, Roger Causey, Jen, Major, we wanted to put something together where you guys can push beyond your limits. I'm going to be honest with you. If you can't handle constructive criticism, this is probably not the place for you. If you can't handle someone telling you the truth, this is probably not the place for you. If you're looking for a watered down, you can do it, this ain't the place.
At all.
You gotta get somebody. You need to go somewhere else for that.
So I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself, and then I'm going to let everybody else talk. And then after that, we'll just kind of like pitch in, telling you basically what you can expect from us. I have a background in sales. I have trucking companies, currently writing books. There's nothing that I don't do, constantly trying to push myself to be better. And that's what this group is all about. I'm also a motivational speaker. Obviously, if I have a trucking business, well, not necessarily obviously, but I do have my CDL and I do drive. So glad to be off the road. Been all over the world and damn it. So, but that's a little bit about me. I'm a father of 5 children. And I just want to be great, and every day that I get up, it's all about learning and getting better. So I'll let the rest of the group, introduce themselves.
All right, y'all. Well, greetings and salutations. My name is Jen, spelled with 2 N's. That's very, very important. Very, very important. Okay, so me, my background is a little diverse. 20 years in the health and wellness industry as a massage therapist, also a U.S. Air Force veteran. Hoorah. And entrepreneurship has always been a part of my journey. I was never the one. I used to drive my sister crazy because a job just did not work for me. It never did. It just didn't feel right. Like, ooh, why am I here 8 to 10 hours? This is crazy. It just never settled in my spirit, as they say. Didn't feel good in my spirit at all. So was always trying different routes, was trying like what worked, what didn't work. And, that's the learning process. That's the journey, figuring out what works for you. Okay. So, I mean, like Rod said, this business and entrepreneurship, I'm going to be very honest, it's not for everyone. How about that for truth? It's not for everyone. Okay. And I'm not saying that to be negative in any way, shape, or form, but like he said, we're going to keep this 100 with y'all. It's not for everyone. So if you get rattled, if you get, oh, I'm scared to talk to people and I don't, I'm an introvert and this and that, just go sit on your job. And there's nothing wrong with a 9 to 5. Don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with a 9 to 5. Okay. But if you do have that hunger, that burning fire in the pit of your belly, as they say, with this entrepreneurship thing, then, we're here to help you. We're here to help you because as you'll hear us talk very consistently, it's 90% mental. The other 10% is actually applying some actions. But once you have your mental straight, the rest, I'm not going to say is a cakewalk, but it's easier. It's much easier. All right. So that's enough talking for me. I'm going to hand it on over to my other partner in crime, but we'll see you on the inside. Let's go.
My name is Major Turner. I also go by Major Voila here recently. I've been calling, my clients call me that Major Voila. I guess it grown on me, so I started referring to myself as that. But I'm an 8-year Marine Corps veteran. When I got out the Marine Corps, I actually worked the job. And I told myself when I worked the job that I was only going to be at this job for 2 years. And then I was going to start my entrepreneurship journey. Because that's what, like, from the get-go, I was that kid that sold 25-cent incense in the grocery store parking lot as a child. That was me. So I already knew, but unfortunate circumstances when I was in high school, I had a child real early. Like with my senior year of high school, I had a child. So I had to get up out of there and had to make like some steady income and provide health care and all that. So I ended up joining the Marines. I joined for the wrong reason, but I stayed in for the right reasons. Once I got there, like it grew on me. But it wasn't nothing that I don't think they formed it to do 20 years behind it right now. I don't think it's formed to do that. Just all the crap you got to put up with. I don't think they make it for you to do 20 years. So I ended up getting out. I ended up getting a job saying I was going to do this job for 2 years. That 2 years ended up being 10 years because of the comfortability that the job provided. And I got comfortable because it was providing a life that was a real good life to be living. To the point where when I decided to walk away from that job because it was time, like most of my peers that I work with, they thought I was going crazy. They want to put me in a mental institution because it was like we got it too easy. But the job was so repetitive and you didn't use none of your faculties, like you didn't use none of it didn't cause you to think. Like you can come in there and do exactly what you do every day and make good money and be straight. But that wasn't like make enough money for you have to go back tomorrow. I have to go back tomorrow. It ain't enough money for me to just live. I had to make enough money to pay all my bills and live comfortably. But I have to go back next week to do it over because it wasn't no money to be saved or nothing like that. So I ended up walking away from the job. And this little thing right here, well, I don't think you can see it, but this little.
Now we see it. We got it. Think and Grow Rich.
Yes. I picked up this book within like a year before I left the job. I was reading that book and I went into a mentorship with a guy named Bob Proctor. Paid for his mentorship and just listened to his teachings. I was like, yeah, it's time. It's time. So I stepped out there. Now I already had started a t-shirt and custom design logo business. within the job because I worked, the place where I worked, it was a bunch of people from the city that was making money. So you knew that they was going to be your customers. Because if you come in there and market that you do t-shirts and logos, 9 times out of 10, if you market that on your lunchways, like in the break rooms, you're going to find customers. The people that's working with you at your regular 9 to 5, they are 100% paying customers. So if you market your services to them, they're going to support. So just by me marketing my service or making t-shirts to these people, I had ended up making like 30 grand within like 6 months of just marketing within this company.
Wow, that's big.
The minute when I done this, I said, bet. Now at this time, I was still studying Amazon because I was like, okay, when I get a lump sum of money, I'm gonna go into the Amazon business, Amazon FBA. So now I can leave and job because now I got something that's sustainable without me working for it every day. So I end up putting that whole, I would say it was like 15, because you know you had to live off some of it.
You got to do right. You got to eat. You got to do the stuff. You know.
You know what I'm saying? So I probably took like 10, 15, and I started the Amazon. I got another coach, mentors. Mentors is very important when you're trying to do things that you don't know how to do it. So you get somebody that's already done it, and they can just follow the blueprint. Don't make it difficult. Hey, it's already cut out for you. So, but you got to be willing to invest in yourself and believe, like, if I spend this money on this person and they showing me how to do something, I'm going to follow the instructions and do it. Because I hear a lot of people saying, oh, man, I wasted my money on doing it and he didn't even teach me. No, you didn't follow the instructions. You have to follow the instructions. So they can't get you the results that they getting for you. You got to get your own results.
You got to put in the work.
Exactly. So I end up learning everything I can about the Amazon FBA, went into it. This was around, I would say 2017, 18. And the first beginning, it was slow. And all of a sudden, once I found I would say the niche of the right products to sell, it took off. So Amazon is rolling. So now I'm feeling like I'm doing good. But being on social media, I started seeing all these different people, man, and they was really doing way bigger things than I was doing. Now, I had tried to start plenty of other businesses.
Right.
Not all of them were successful.
Right.
I had different party rental businesses, cotton candy machine business, trash ballet business.
Cocaine in the bottle. No,
man. hey, but no, that is not right. Edit. But I tried a lot of different things, and I had a partner that me and he was gonna go 50-50 on this thing called, I don't know if we promoting it or not, but it's part of my journey. Recession proof. Woo! That guy in the blue suit. I was like,
oh, we'll give a shout out, of course.
You know what I'm saying? I was start peeping the mind. I'm like, what is recession proof? Then reading the comments. I'm like, man, I need to know, I need to learn how to structure a business correctly, because I can start a bunch of business and start making money, but when they not structured correctly, they eventually gonna go under. Like it's gonna eventually something's not gonna be right where you're gonna have to cut your losses and say, nah, I ain't gonna even keep going forward. I'm just gonna stop where I'm at and just figure something else out. So I had a partner, we supposed to win 50-50 on it to go in the mentorship. He flaked out on the last minute, on the night of purchasing to the course. So I was like, nah, I'm going anyway. So I ended up fronting the whole payment, fronting the whole thing for myself. One of the best decisions I made, man, is I got introduced to the two most dopest people I done met on this screen right here today. So I'm very happy that I done that. I'm very happy to be me and be on this with these guys, with guys and gal. But that's a little bit of my story, man. I probably went too long, but
No.
We talking. We
It was
chopping it
good.
up. We want to hear.
Yeah,
because your past, your past journeys are very important.
Yeah.
Because like you said, there's the pitfalls and the mistakes and the errors that we've all done in business. Everyone has just had. I mean, if you're doing it right, you really should fail a whole lot of times before the success comes.
Exactly.
And it's not really mistakes; those are lessons for you to take forward. So man, we want to hear the journey.
I feel like the failures, like you can't have success without failures. I think the failures is what stacks you up to grab it. It's the prongs in the ladder. Like you can't just walk up to success and grab it. You got to be a tall mug to do that. And I'm tall, so no. But you got to climb the ladder. You got to climb each prong of the ladder to reach up there and grab it.
You know where most business owners or businesses go wrong is they often lose the mindset of under construction permanently. Mm-hmm. And what I mean by that is this. Mm-hmm. If you have a business, you never have a business. And what I mean by that is this. Every year, you should be expanding, reinventing, and adding, right? So what happens is, if this pandemic has taught us anything, right? You're looking at people who literally turned around and they went out of business quickly, right?
Overnight.
Because their projection,
blink of an eye.
It was the same projection, right? Yeah. It was the same projection.
Yeah, you gotta reinvent yourself.
Yeah, I know we've all heard this story, but y'all remember the story about the company. I think it was Netflix when they came to Blockbuster.
Oh yeah,
and told them that they had
turned them down, didn't it?
Yeah, Blockbuster turned them down.
They were controlling the market. Blockbuster felt like they were controlling the market.
Exactly,
but they weren't forward thinking.
Do y'all remember how Netflix started? Like how the business structure that they had in the beginning, for is like sending the DVDs to your house.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Having a queue on your laptop or the DVD that they will send you next after you send. So
I forgot about that. You're right.
So they was cutting Blockbuster because they was cutting out the drive of actually going and deliver the DVD. They cut out that little section and they split Blockbuster all the way down.
And believe it or not, just their trial and error period also created the opportunity for the machines that you have outside in the store, because it's the same thing. You're taking a CD home, you take your red box, you're taking a disc home, right? Yeah. So they were, like you said, thinking forward. But here's the thing: they're constantly expanding. This is why Google is becoming so massive. This is why all these because if you're not always under construction, you're on your way to being demolished. Y'all don't hear me now.
That sounds like a part of it.
I
think somebody
R&D, research and development. Research and development. You gotta have that. You gotta have that within your business, because no matter what market you in, it's changing. Like even if you're not up on the changes that's happening, that mug is changing. And
with or without your company, moving forward.
Right.
Most definitely is changing.
You know, when I realized that was when like right now I'm in the process of getting some products patented, as you guys know. And the guy told me, he's like, okay, you can try to get a product patented. It can take up to 4 years. But by that time, the market could have aggressively changed to the point to where your product is no longer needed. So you can get a provisional patent. And by getting a provisional patent, why don't you just license it out? So, I mean, this is the thing that you were talking about, Major, that I think is so important, that I kind of echo from another angle. we spend too much time trying to be chief instead of trying to just produce, right? So a lot of people, like you said something, you like, I started a lot of businesses. And here's the thing. If I wish somebody would have told me about the power of being able to liquidate and restart business wise. Nobody told me that if I started a
they
t-shirt
left that
company,
chapter out.
Yeah, nobody told me if I started a t-shirt company and I got
did it out of fear. Really?
But listen to this. Nobody told me if I start a t-shirt company and I say, man, this ain't going too well, and I got a loan for the t-shirt machine that I got, and I liquidated the assets of the company and filed for bankruptcy for that company, that I could turn around and go open up another company and could maintain my product, right?
Yeah.
Nobody taught that. So when you think about it, if you have that information, then there really is no failure, because if I know that I say, hey, no matter what, this t-shirt business is going to work, I can continue to accumulate over time everything and just continue to refile until I get to the point where I want to be.
Yeah, until you start producing.
Yeah. Right.
I don't think people understand that concept that you just that was big bars, y'all. I hope y'all are catching this, because you have to really understand and listen to what he just said, because in the same stroke, don't just think of, oh, I have a t-shirt company and that's it. There are levels to this thing. You can ratchet that thing up all the way. You can have several streams of income within one business. And I don't think people explore that enough.
Exactly. Like talking yesterday, when I bought or got 360 camera machine that I was only thinking about it one direction. Like, I'm gonna rent it out. And that's it. Like, that's all I was thinking about. Like, I seen it at an event I went to, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get me one and I'm just gonna rent it out. I just was thinking that direction only. But you know what I'm saying? Talking and like, that's why I say your network is your net worth. Like, because you'll learn things from people just in casual conversations if you talking to the right people. But if you talking to the same Joe Schmo that you was talking to,
come on now.
Yes, everything is gonna be difficult and hard. You ain't gonna have no new ideas or nothing. But if you talking to people that was actually going through the same journey that you're going through, just in casual conversation, it ain't nothing you trying to be deep about or nothing. But it's just casual conversation. They're going to give you gems that you need to pick up on. The same way how he just was just casually talking, but he gave you a gem to pick up on.
That's right.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the thing about it. Another thing I want to echo. See, we have, number one, you do need to be inspired, right? So I'm not saying, I want to clarify, I'm not saying you don't need motivation. Bob Proctor is amazing. Les Brown is amazing. E.T. Thomas is amazing. I can go through a list of people that are absolutely amazing. But the thing about it is that you said is, but you have to have a mentor. Why? Because you're not the expert. And you have to acknowledge, see, a lot of people go in this thing pridefully. And another book, in that Think and Grow Rich, there's a section in there that's called The Power of the Minds. And that is where people like Henry Ford and so many other people were able to advance, because I don't have to have all the answers. I just need to have the people that have the answers to the questions around me, right?
Exactly. Like they told Henry Ford, because Henry Ford was basically, like, by medical terms, he was
mentally challenged.
Mentally challenged. But when they took him to court for trying to take his company away from him, they was asking him questions about history, and he told them, I got a list of switch buttons in my office. And anytime that I need an answer to any of those questions that you asking me, I can hit a button and get the smartest person in that field to come to my office and tell me. So think about that. You don't have to be like, when I hear somebody saying, oh, I can do that myself, that lets me know you trying to be cheap. Like, you trying to be cheap. So now once you're trying to be cheap, you got to ask yourself, like, do you want it? Like, do you want it enough to say, I will spend my last dime to know how to do this? So don't try to be cheap and cheat yourself out of your dream by trying to say, oh, I can do it myself. Yeah, you could do it yourself, but the time frame that you taking on learning how to do it, the market is changing. So everything that you're learning is in the past. That's how somebody used to do it. So get the person that's doing it right then and now, and they can teach you. I mean, they can show you the steps of doing it. You can learn along the way after you completed the steps, but complete the steps of getting it done.
That's right. That's right. I mean,
I would rather spend money than waste time every day, all day, and twice on Sundays. That's why, as we know, we can get back that time, baby. That time is gone. We out of here. Exactly. This is right now in this moment. This is the youngest we're ever going to be in this moment.
Exactly.
That's right. Exactly. That's right. And that's why I was saying, like, even with the, on the inventive side, I looked at it like, hey, I can have 30 inventions that yield me a 6 to 10% royalty, right? Fee, right? Mm-hmm. Or I can have one thing that took me 50 years to get done, right? And now, by this time, I gotta consider inflation. I gotta consider market change. I gotta consider. So we're talking about economical impact. We're talking about mental impact. We're talking about physical. Like, I don't know what's gonna be going on at that particular time. So why not? And this is why I said, like, it's so important. One of the things I think that we're accomplishing as melanated people, we're destroying the stigma of we can't work together. I'm tired of hearing that.
Me too, man.
I'm tired of hearing that. I'm tired of hearing that.
I'm tired of hearing crabs in a bucket. I'm tired of hearing that. Yeah. I was like, man, I don't. That's not my reality. That you can choose that to be your reality, but I don't look at it that way. Like, no, I refuse to look at it that way. Yeah, I would look at it 100 different ways before I look at it talking about crab in the bucket. No.
But see, they go back to that circle you was talking about, right? Because all of us, we have a belief, which is why we came together. We obviously don't believe in that. And so that's the thing about it is, what we want you guys to understand is, if there's nothing else that you get out of this, when it comes to excuses, just realize, just put one word in front of it. You put that one word in front of it, you can move forward. Bullshit. When it comes to excuses, I want you to replace excuses with bullshit. When you find yourself saying, well, I don't, bullshit. Well,
when this happened, I'm going to do this.
Bullshit.
Yeah, because people always want to talk themselves out of it and blame it on everything else. It's the circumstances. It's my business partner. Oh, my family. Oh, I'm having a fight with my boyfriend. Look.
Or they want to do the New Year's revolution. Oh, at the beginning of the year, I'm gonna leave my job. At the beginning of the year, I'm gonna start this. As soon as this happened, I'm going to do this.
Yeah, why aren't you doing it now?
I was getting paid just like you were saying, Mason. I was to everybody out there. I was hauling oil, making $130,000 a year, and I remember I got my second check. I was like, you know what?
I'll be all right.
I'm gonna be all right. And I can hear Kendrick Lamar playing
this. Ain't too
bad. We gonna be all right. I'll be all right. I mean, I'm looking in my bank account. I said, you know what? I can spend what I want, and I pretty much, by the time I get paid next time, I'm Gucci. And I remember just sitting there saying, you know what, man, this ain't healthy. Because you owe to yourself what you really want. See, to the person that wants to continue to do that, like Jen said, cool. But I know, when you are an entrepreneur, I'm gonna tell you something, because we're gonna have to close it up. But I'm gonna tell you something. When I was a child, right, I was always the rambunctious child, the child that questioned things, the child that had a question or something, And most of our melanated young men that are in the school system are just bored, right? Because they have this stature about them where they regulate others to do things. They find themselves functioning in CEO, entrepreneur like functionality without even realizing it. And when you start to see these kids and you say, man, they're just bad. They're just bad. What you got to realize in most cases, it's not that they're bad. It's the fact that what the skill set that they have is much greater and it's not often expected.
They're bored.
And then it's not being challenged.
And it's classified
exactly.
Not being challenged. And it often gets classified as stupidity, ADHD, all this other stuff that comes around, right? So I'm looking at my childhood going on up. And my mom used to tell me and my brother all the time when we were young, she was like, y'all are leaders, not followers. So that always stuck in my head. Then my mom started had started a hair salon business, and I watched her do other businesses selling clothes. She did all kinds of stuff, right? So I saw this and I said, man, you know what? I said, man, this is possible. This is possible. But the thing about it is that was always in me. So I worked those comfortable jobs, and even with that money, inside of me was screaming like, this ain't it. And then you guys are going to nod your head on this. You know, you find yourself in a situation. This is how you know you're an entrepreneur. You find yourself at a job, looking at the infrastructure of that job and the structure of that job. And you say, why they run this like that? Why they run this like that?
Oh, my goodness.
Right?
You know it.
And like this was a manufacturer that I worked at. Like, so I used to look around at the employees. I'm like, a bell. I'm talking about a bell controls 5,000 people at one time. It's sending 5,000 people to a 15-minute break. 5,000, one bell. I'm talking, it's not a long bell. It's no more than like 3 seconds long. And it was seeing 5,000 people go eat, come back, go to break. Like, I was looking at that like, man, this is crazy.
That's horrific.
This is crazy. Like, so like
with the bell.
I used to tell the infrastructure, because I used to think like, okay, they got 3 people in HR, but they just got them sectioned out. So they not working the whole day because they don't have HR work to do all day because the way that they got it sectioned out, they split the workload. So, bro, I used to tap, I promise you think I was the only one being that mother thinking like this. Like,
have you ever found yourself talking to your manager and you're looking at your manager and you're like, how you get this job?
Man,
how did you get that promotion? Like, who did you sleep with? Like, or who?
I had supervisors, and like, and down where I'm at, it was just some real deal good old boy stuff. Like, oh, you got this for your daddy. Your dad is the foreman. Oh yeah, so you the supervisor. Okay, I see what y'all doing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I can't knock it because I ain't gonna say it was racist or nothing. No, that's how it's supposed to be. If I work my way up and I got a friend or a brother, of course, and I can, of course, I'm gonna give him the better. Like, because
nepotism
is more of my responsibility. You know what I'm saying?
When it's your business, you can do that.
And that was the thing. Like we talked about this another time. That's why when Dame Dash was like saying on the Breakfast Club, can any of y'all hire any of your family members at the Breakfast Club, right? Oh, and as much as they got angry, what he was saying was true. Like you know what I'm saying? Now, the other side is, you know, like DJ Envy said, oh, I love this. I love coming and getting up every day. Okay, fine. Yeah. That's fine. Yeah. But don't tell me you are a boss. You know what I'm saying? And you're in a worker's format. You see what I'm saying? So but if you find yourself on those jobs doing it, if you find yourself saying, I don't really care what the managers think, you probably don't need to jump into entrepreneurship, because 9 times out of 10, you know, it's working is okay. And there are people, you know, when I was reading Robert Kiyosaki's book, what is it called, y'all?
Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Rich Dad Poor Dad. Mm-hmm. I remember the portion in the book where the young man sees the father that didn't have the high school education, but was. So really quick, just to clarify my point, Robert Kiyosaki in his book, Rich Dad Poor Dad. the father who was the uneducated one who actually turned out to be the wealthy one, and Robert's father who had multiple degrees, who was poor, having to pay back on student loans and everything, behind the lines. Anyway, the Richard saw in the story a woman that worked for the father. And he complained to the father that it's not fair that the woman continues to not make a lot of money and comes into work every day. And the father said to him, I only meet people where they are, basically. If that person intends to maintain an employment status and they're not looking to grow and become an entrepreneur or have their own business, why would I offer that to them? And so that's the thing about it is like a lot of times we're trying to shove something down the throats of people that may not be advantageous to them, may not be something that they want to do. And so in this case, that's what the story was about. And so the whole point out of that was that you can, it may be for you, like Jen said, it may be for you, it may not be for you. It just kind of depends. But one thing about it is whether you're looking for employees, you have to ask the right questions to figure out. There's some people that just want to be workers, and that's fine. Sometimes we're trying to change everybody into the same mold. But then there's some people that really do want to be entrepreneurs. And that's what this whole program is about, EOP. It's about getting you to that point. Like Major said, something inspired him. That inspiration turned into, hey, I need a mentor. That mentorship turned into him making passive income and income. Same thing for us, myself and Jen. We all joined the recession-proof group and learned so much about credit, right? And learned so much about more than just credit, And I'm not gonna just advertise everything for them, but it's a great program. But we wouldn't have met each other had we not done that. So, if you're an entrepreneur and if you're a worker, if you find yourself less interested in running a business, knowing how it operates, how to structure it, less concerned about actually being in a position to have to put the pressure on your back to create, invent, control, conceptualize. It's not something for you. But if you find yourself wanting to do those other things I just previously stated, then it is. All right, guys. I hope that helps.